Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday night Radical Geek live stream. I see we have Carrie and Sharon here. I know Attila will join us soon. Oh, and hey, Just Jason Keto is joining us. Ooh, having some grilled ribeye. That sounds awesome. I went for, like, if I'm going with some sweet things, I went all in tonight. And we'll hang out for a couple minutes. I don't know. I think there's like a lot of stuff going on. I've been like seeing a lot of stuff in the feed, so I don't know if we'll get people tonight or not. But I can have enough patience for that to hang tight just a few minutes. Hey, Mrs. Perfectly Imperfect Keto. Good to see you tonight. And Just Jen Delaney. Oh, Renee is here and Gigi's here. Oh, Just Jen, I saw that pizza in your feed. I am going to have to look up Carnivorous Chris's pizza crust. It looked really good. I'd love to hear how what you thought about it as you ate it. So, oh, and of course here is Attila, our awesome moderator. So let's see. Oh, I think I lost track for a second. Well, we're fine. Oh, Brenda has joined us. Let's see. Yep, oh yeah, and Carrie says he's looking forward to seeing the maple iced coffee. So yeah, and I have cold coffee right now, right here. Let's see. Oh, Renee says she found a massive, oh, she made a massive Sam's run yesterday, so lots of protein and prep today. I didn't do none of that today, which I should have, but I did get an Eye of Round roast. It's gigantic. Out of the freezer. It should be thawed by the morning. So now I just have to decide whether I am cooking it in the smoker or if I'm going to throw it in the Instapot and just have like some super rare roast beef. Hard to say which way I'm going to go. It's so big. If I go, it would have more flavor in the smoker, but super rare roast beef is so delicious. And then I'll have broth where I could make a gravy if I want to. I could make buns and have sandwiches. We can chop some up and make some crispy beef for tacos. It's very flexible, and if I do it in the Instapot, also it'll be easier to just have it sliced off and freeze part of it because there is so much of it. So let's see. Oh, Just Jen Delaney says, since you can't do fathead dough with almond flour, it was really good. It held up, could be held, and felt like pizza crust. I don't use any almond flour in my fathead dough. Can you do coconut flour? I use a little bit of coconut flour, or more often than not, pork rind dust, or pork panko, whatever you guys call it these days. So, and that seems to be fine. It just needs like a little something. But yeah. Oh, and Carrie says, seems like they have at the store the chia version of Rubio's. Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, hey, Keto Simple. Oh, it's almost time for our Rockstar Pizza. I am excited for that. Like, I know it's weird to be excited for it, but it's just a thing. So, I have my cocktail shaker here with crushed ice. I'm going to jump right in because I'm thirsty. To that, I'm going to add my ounce of cream. You can use almond milk if you want, or coconut milk, or whatever milk alternative you like. You can use regular milk if you drink regular milk, but yeah. Oh, chai, not chia. Okay. I was like, okay, so it's like a thickened chia jelly Rubio's, which could be very interesting, could also be not good. So then I have here some allulose maple syrup. So you can use whatever kind of keto-friendly maple syrup you want, pre-made, make your own, whatever you want. This is allulose with water that you heat it up, you melt it down, and you add the tiniest bit of maple extract to it. And that's all you gotta do. And that makes a pretty nice syrup. And I only put a little teeny bit in there, about a teaspoon. You can do more or less. The thing about that is nice is even though it is sweet, it's not cloyingly sweet. and the maple pulls back the sweet just a smidge because the allulose is not as sweet as sugar. And even if you're making this kind of drink in typical with real maple syrup and coffee, it's not as sweet as actual simple syrup or sugar, and so it does help enhance the nuttiness of the coffee. So now we're going to take our coffee. I've got it, like I said, cold. Throw on the lid to my cocktail shaker, and then you just shake it up. That's the nice thing about iced coffees, is that they're super easy and super quick. So some of the hot drinks require quite a lot of preparation. Oh, and Carrie says he got a cool ice cream maker, and the salted caramel keto chow is so good as an ice cream made with butter. Ooh, yeah, we haven't had salted caramel in a while. I'll have to think about that. So that is it for our drink, and a lot of times you would strain your cocktail, but in this case, boy, it got very frothy. We're just going to pour it right into our glass, ice and everything. And so that was a lot of cream. It does not need that much cream, I suppose, but it was only a ½ ounce, so I didn't think it'd be quite that creamy, but it's fine. I would maybe prefer less, but that's all right. So there you go, maple iced coffee all made. It's really, really good and very refreshing. And like I said, it's sweet, but it is not cloying. It actually really highlights the coffee. And where this came from is because it's actually, it's not like sometimes you think these elaborate drinks, which this was not that elaborate, but you think like maple syrup and stuff in coffee would have originated from one of our big places, Colombia or an Italy or Vietnam, but no, this is actually Native American or indigenous in origins, and that is because they are developers of maple syrup and that kind of sweetener. It's actually not Canadian, it's native, it's indigenous. And so that combo again, and then with the homemade or artisanal roasted beans, the two flavors blend together and highlight a bit better. Oh, and Keto Simple says he's got a countertop ice maker, so it makes ice pretty fast. I have thought about getting one, but right now our refrigerator ice maker has been able to hold up. The previous fridge, the LG, the ice would run out all the time. But in the Samsung, it's got a fast freeze. So it's one of the things that they mentioned though, is that because they're doing a fast flash freeze for the ice to have quick production, the ice isn't clear. So that's cool. Let's see. Oh, he says he didn't, and Keto Simple says he didn't film the unboxing, but once we use it for a while, they'll do a review. It was only like $77. Wow, that's a great price. That's pretty awesome. So I thought I would bring an old recipe back because we haven't made these in a while, and I forgot to get myself a cooling rack, so boo, but we can just do one for now. So what I have here, I just wanted to make a protein bundt cake. So I have the J. Robb strawberry whey protein, and that's what I've used. One scoop, which is 30 grams. As you can see, that's like not an insignificant amount of protein powder. So it's pretty generous. And I went with strawberry. I don't know, it was just what I was in the mood for. I have strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. I don't even know if they make other flavors, but that was plenty. And the reason I like it is that A, I don't have an issue with dairy, so I'm pretty happy. Let's see. Oh, okay. And Carrie says he thought maybe Canadian because maple is kind of their thing. Yeah, it is. It's also a Native American thing. It's two different types. Oh, and Keto Simple says that Samsung fridge ice maker just stopped working, and it's a pretty widespread issue. There's a class action lawsuit. Yeah, so our LG fridge was part of the compressor class action lawsuit. However, we were smack at the start of the pandemic, and we had like a massive power outage, so everything was super hot when it killed our fridge. And we think it was part of it, we think was the power surges, but also part of it was an LG problem. And not only could they not replace the fridge in any sort of timely fashion, to get a certified repair person was going to be like 3 weeks just to get a repair person for a diagnosing. Then it would take another enormous quantity of time to get a part. So we took the option to just go and buy a new fridge. And so we had to get the Samsung because that's what we could get. Like, I don't know how they think that in the middle of 100 degrees and 90% humidity, you're gonna live with no refrigerator. It was completely unrealistic. And that was part of the LG lawsuit. So yeah. Oh, and Keto Simple says they didn't get the chewy ice style, so those are not cheap. They're like 300 plus. Yeah, the nugget ice. Yeah. Anyways, so I just wanted a bundt cake, and I'm being pretty good on my keto, but these are still really perfectly keto. So it's a nice meal. I've got my avocado oil. You can actually use any fat you want in this. Melted butter, and actually I'm going to need a spatula, so let me grab that. You can use melted butter, you can use coconut oil. Coconut oil, once you melt it down, it can impact the flavor depending on how refined it's been, etc., etc. I will tell you that bacon grease is too bacony. I know that sounds like a cardinal sin, too bacony, but it doesn't taste good. It gets like a really I don't know, the flavor's not nice. Beef tallow is okay. Half beef tallow and half avocado oil makes a nice blend. Anyways, I've just got about 3/4 of an ounce of the avocado oil. Set that to the side. My it's about 3/4 of an ounce of heavy cream. Dump that right in. From here, before I get any more liquid in there, I'm going to add my baking powder. I have a 1/4 teaspoon. The nice thing is that it's a super easy and simple, no fuss kind of recipe, as you can see. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, this is my Hungry Heath shirt, and they're not even here. How about that? Well, they'll be here later, or I don't remember. Heath and Shelly, I thought they were doing something. I don't remember. But I also know Shauna, I believe, is also crafting. You set that aside to get it out of the way. And then, let's see, 1 egg. This is a Nellie's egg, which is why it looks so glorious. It looks more yellow on the camera, but in real life, it is like a deep sunny orange, and I love Nellie's eggs. They are delicious. Let's see. And Carrie says he also got some popsicle mold, so I'll have to find a way to make some keto popsicles. I do have suggestions for that. Let me mix my baking powder and egg together with my fats. I just like to do that because it starts to activate the baking powder a little bit. And what this will do is make 2 mini dash, yeah, that's what it was, a dinner. I knew they were doing something, but I couldn't remember what it was. So I knew, like I said, I knew they had something going on, and my brain was just like, nope, you can't remember tonight. But anyways, I just, if you get the baking powder, yes, baking powder, I almost said baking soda. It's baking powder. Get it activated, and then now we're going to mix in our whey protein powder. I'm sorry for that clatter. I just threw everything in the sink. And This is basically all we're doing for this. It makes it really simple. And the reason I love these, well, first of all, they do taste good. One thing I can say is a lot of times I like to add some cake batter extract. For some reason, the cake batter really pops the flavor of the whey isolate, and I'm a big fan of cake, as are we all. Are we not? I don't know. Maybe some people don't like cake. I just don't seem to know a lot of people who don't like cake. But I was one of those weird people who never cared that much about the icing. Yeah, oh, Dyson is actually sitting right here. He's just being real quiet. I don't know. We just had like some big thunderstorms roll through though, so maybe he's like tired because he was barking up like crazy, louder than the storm. Oh, Sharon says she hopes Lynette is taking pictures of the dinner. The menu sounded amazing. It sure did. Man, she had everything. Oh, the delicious roasty meats and side dishes. And man, it was everything. I was blown away. So, you know, and here I am having a cake and adulterated coffee. For shame. Not really. I'm not sad at all. So I was telling you guys, the reason I like these is because of how they travel. They are great on my bike rides, and they fit right nice into a Ziploc bag and right into the pocket. And even though they have a nice texture for eating, they don't get like completely destroyed in the pocket. This recipe also works well in the waffle makers. Oh, I got the wrong maker out, you guys. This is the waffle bowl. We're not using that. Now we're going to have to wait a second for the other one. I thought that was my bundt maker. I should have checked it first. Hang tight with me. I've got to get it from the pantry. Oh, let's see. Bundt maker. It's stuck. Oh. There we go. It's coming. My bundt maker, it's stuck in the pocket because it's a little too big. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you could hear me while I was struggling. So I have my mini makers in the pantry. I bought one of those shoe holders and cleaned them and tidied them all up into that. So let me plug this one in, and we'll have to wait for it to preheat. So we'll have to chat. But that's good because it's also nice if you let the batter rest a little bit. It lets the moisture permeate through. Sorry, Renee. Let's see. Oh, and Renee says we can't wait to see Shelly tasting beef heart crumbles because she took carnivore crisp up once and had them taste heart and liver. Oh, you know what? I like beef heart and beef liver, but I didn't like the beef heart from the carnivore crisps. It had it just was too intense. So I could see how some people might not love that, but I will tell you that I loved the liver. The liver was fantastic. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and Carrie says the cake I made the other night, the chocolate. We have to get things that aren't chocolate. One of our subscribers, barely begun, I believe. Said that based on my recommendation, they went and got a couple of the cakes, but they like the yellow cake better. So that one doesn't have chocolate. Oh wow, 1 year and 6 months. You are killing it. Good job. All right, good night, Dustin. Happy Sunday to you too. So, but yeah, okay. So I just gotta let this heat a little bit. I can't believe I got the wrong one. Yes, this is the bundt maker. I suppose I could have made a waffle bowl. I just don't have anything to put in it. So it probably would have worked. It might have been too soft. Sometimes I like to add beef gelatin into this too, but today I didn't. I've had plenty of protein. I didn't film my whole day of eating because it's Sunday. I'll film tomorrow. But today, gosh, today I had chicken tacos, and then I also had an egg and cheese omelet, and now I'm having cake. So there we go. So I will let you have a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. I can't believe it's going to be like 2 weeks. Wow. So anybody else in Indy, let me know. Oh, and Sharon says the minis are twins. Could be easy to grab the wrong one. That's true. They do look identical. They are even the same size. That one is really hot. So as you can see, they do look the same. I mean, a smarter person would have looked before the live stream so that I didn't have to go off camera and rustle around and leave you guys alone. But, you know, these things happen. So while I wait for that to heat up, I'm going to just tell you guys that this was really good. I'm going to add more actual coffee to it because I have some. There we go. So, yeah. Yep. So earlier today, I will tell you, I was like in a salty mood today. The car has something going on with it. Nothing that I think is like super important, but it just wasn't driving right. And so now we got to go and take it to Toyota tomorrow, and that's kind of a pain in the behind. But it's important because soon we'll need it to drive places. So my printer ran out of toner, so we had to go emergency buy toner, and it's expensive. And so by the time we got home, you know, I ate my omelet, and really I have plenty of things to do, but I was just in a bad mood. Like I tried to play my video game, and I was like not even into that. And so I was literally just sitting there in my chair in the dark, sulky, and getting tired and sleepy. And I thought, wow, I'm really tired. And we barely rode yesterday. And yesterday I also had to take my bike in, my new bike in for its first service. After you ride it, initially for a while, you always take it in for first service because the cables stretch out and it just needs that initial tune-up. And so I only have my one bike here, and that's fine. I love that bike. But I've been riding the new bike, and I'd been on myself like, oh, I'm really out of shape because this is a lot harder than it used to be. And as I sat there in my chair, getting moodier and moodier, I was thinking about the fact that Tuesday, which by the way, I won't film my day of eating for Tuesday because I have meeting, then I have to meet my boss for lunch off-site, and then I gotta come home and have 3 more meetings. Oh yeah, there's nothing seriously wrong with the car. I'm like 95% sure that it's that stupid shield on the bottom that tore away, because what happened was it made like a big whoomp kind of noise, and then took a little bit to break. But once that happened, then he drove it around. It was initially like a little bit quaky, and then now it's all normal, and I can see where it tore a little bit. So I'm pretty much sure that it's not a big deal. So anyways, but yeah, so I will go ahead and put this in now into the maker. It's I'm gonna put half of it in. It's awkward to pour it this direction. So you really just need to make, oops. Oh no, that was just right. One little smidge more. So there we go. And now we just let that go for a little bit. It's not a huge cake or anything like that, but yeah. So now it just takes like well, 5 or 6 minutes, and then I'll have a nice little butt cake. I'll throw some butter on it, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, so I was all broody, you know, like I tried to watch something on TV, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I kind of like started like just like dozing in my chair, and I'm like, this is not good. And I thought about my lunch on Tuesday, where I think that we're going to a place really nearby, so I'm like, I could just ride my bike under 5 miles. I don't want to drive any vehicle. So I was like, but I haven't ridden my Monda in a while because new bike syndrome. And I was like, maybe I'd better just double check that the adjustments and things that we've done and that the tires feel good, you know, make sure it's in good shape for Tuesday. And I got on the bike, I got on the road, and the minute I started riding, the breeze in my hair, I saw kids playing outside. It just felt good. And I didn't feel like I was working real hard like I do on my new Demane. Evidently, being 3 pounds heavier and then also having the bag on the back does make a big difference. I just thought I was in really bad shape because of being injured and not working all winter. So I was faster. I didn't have any issues. And I was really literally just hopping out, thinking I would go like 4 or 5 miles, just to make sure everything was in good mechanical, because we rode bikes yesterday. So, but I got downtown, like the halfway point, and there was like a little mini festival going on. So I got to see a DeLorean. I got to play video games in a console truck. I talked to some Ghostbusters, and I just had like a really nice time. And then and then I was like, oh, now I gotta go home. And I was like a little bit grumpy again because I was like, oh, the hill, all this. But you know what? I had a great time. I got home, easy peasy, zero issues. The hill wasn't even hard. I was like, whoa. So I made it through the park, and just as I got home, it started to sprinkle, so it was exactly perfect. Worked great, and my entire mood just like turned around. So sometimes if you find yourself in a struggle, ask yourself if you are really need to, what you need to do to change that. And for me, getting out was like the smartest thing I did. Some days the answer is that you need to go lay down and take a nap, but a lot of days it's not. And Brenda says, yeah, it's important to have experiences like that to help us get back to feeling good and balanced. Yeah, I agree. It's not quite done yet, but check it out. It's coming out nice. So I'm happy with that. So, but what have you guys done lately that makes you feel good? I'm interested in hearing about that. I'm interested in having more of this iced beverage because it is still, it's not warm in the house, but I feel warm. It's still humid. No amount of air conditioning can account for that. And I just tidy a little, sorry. But yeah. So, and also Attila bought me a gift for Gen Con, and I probably should have brought it here to show you guys, but I didn't. But he got me a little fairy tiara. So you know, it's a circlet, so it's not like a big high crown. It has the gem here, and then like little branch shape to go around and tie on, and it will match exactly. It will match exactly. And Brenda chose the nap option today. Well, do you feel a little bit better and a little more refreshed? Sometimes we need that, and the heat is intense lately. Oh, Sharon, we like to go to the Dublin Trek store right off of Sawmill. I will tell you though, right now getting tune-ups is going to be really hard because we're close to Peltonia, and they even told me that I won't be able to have my other bike back until August 1st. So I was like, but it really needed to be done because I knew I was having some shifting, and it just really needed it. And but the Dublin store, they're really good. They're super, super good. Their employees stay there for a long time, so they've worked on bikes a lot. And even though it's a Trek store and you'll see mostly Treks there, they work on any bike. They went, they fixed up Attila's old Fuji really nice. They've worked on a lot of other stuff for us too. So yeah, I can't recommend them enough. They are always, you know, we come in, they all recognize us. So it's almost there. Okay, I gotta stop poking at it. It's just about done. Home Carrie says it's only 103. Like, oh, I would be a crispy critter at 103. Uh, it was 90 earlier, but we just had that huge thunderstorm roll through, and it went from that 90 all the way down to right now. The bar here says it's 76, but it is still really humid, so it'll bump back up. Oh, and Sharon says she thinks that's the store where her son took Steph's bike when he had it up there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a really good bike shop. The other thing is outside of Trek, the other place that two places that I would recommend is the Johnny Vello Bike Shop. It's right in downtown Clintonville, and also while it's not necessarily a repair shop, they are looking for they often have workshops, and they have all of the equipment there, and sometimes they will do things to help you out. Is Franklinton Cycle Works. Yep. Oh, and Sharon says she's looking for fall riding. Have limited space here just in the subdivision, too many country roads and fast drivers. So yes, always an issue on the road, so that does take a lot of skill. Hey, Just Jason Keto, welcome back. So let's see. All right. Oh, yeah, okay. I want to pull it out, but I know it still needs like another minute, especially because I keep opening it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Attila did just need that nap because, like I said, it has been really humid. And yesterday, Attila went with me to the farmer's market, and I can tell you that it was sweaty, and it wasn't real far, but by the time we got home, like everything was sticking to me. So yeah, I can definitely see why a nap was another option, but today it was just right. So, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I try to get my leg back in shape because it's still rebuilding from the ankle injury. It's very weak. And so I think what I've been doing is just working my way back to normal. So I think that I want to ride uh, a base between 5 and 10 on the daily, with a longer ride on the weekends. But you know, I haven't been doing that because it just seems like no matter what I do, it constantly is getting re-injured, which I know because that's what I'm going to school for, and it's annoying. And I just have to do my due diligence. So there we go. Now it's looking good. So that is something that happens with the bump maker. The bottom gets more brown than the top, in case you were wondering. And I'm going to go ahead and cook off the second one while we chat. Oh. So I also got my ocarina on Friday late, so I didn't get to do much with it then on Friday. I practiced a little bit yesterday, and I'm getting a couple things down, you know, not real well, but I can, at this point in time, now play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Mary Had a Little Lamb. So, hey, progress, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and tear this open and bring it around so I can show you the interior texture, and so that you can see that it's light and fluffy. It's very, very soft. So it's not choky or anything like that. But it is burning my fingers. So I'm going to set that down. Whipped cream is nice on it if you got it. When I go biking, we take the packets of the fat snacks or um, uh, peanut butter pouches, not peanut butter, almond butter pouches. Will I be playing for my fans? I don't think you want to hear me just yet. I made like a very squeaky sound the other day, but it's still a little bit painful. But yeah, probably because I can't really help myself. So I'll tell you because I know that Jennifer's not paying any attention to my live stream. I'm hoping to learn like some kind of cheesy little love type song, and while I'm wearing my nice little fairy outfit at Gen Con, playing it, and doing that whole embarrassing thing. I think that would be awesome. But I don't know if it'll actually work out because it's only a week, and to be honest, like that's a big ask. So it might not actually be possible. So, but that's the kind of shenanigans that get into my head. I'm going to put some butter, half a tablespoon. I'm just going to smear it around and let it melt on here because it just sounds good. Kind of like pancake, only it's bundt cake. So, but like I said, I love these because it's a nice protein bump, which I often need. And in this case, also a sweet treat at the same time. And I'll just tell you, did I read the ingredients? I can't remember. Did I tell you the ingredients on this stuff? The J-Rob whey protein isolate? Let me know, and if I didn't, I'll share the ingredients with you after I take a bite. Get my paper towel that I tucked in my pocket there. Got stuck. And then Carrie got tired after eating a lot of fatty meat. I don't know, but I don't remember if I read these or not, so I'll just go ahead and read them. Oh, Carrie says he got some good vanilla, and it's non-alcoholic, so he can't wait to use it. It's so good. Oh, is that the one from Bluegrass Girl? Her vanilla? It is so good. Anyways, on this, the ingredients is cold-pressed, cross-flow, micro-filtered whey protein isolate. I'll be honest, that sounds like a lot of fancy buzzwords. I'm not sure that I'm impressed by that part. Whey protein isolate has been good enough for me all around, but I'm not too worried about it. Then natural flavors, sunflower lecithin, xanthan gum, stevia leaf extract, and red beet for the color. Not bad, right? So as far as protein powders go, it's really nice. So that's, yeah, I'm very pleased with it. So let's see. I'm looking to see what else. Oh yeah, we're mentioning Carrie's ice cream maker. Yeah, that's not. I'm glad that you got one. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, Bluegrass Girls vanilla is top notch. I should just keep this napkin on the counter instead of tucking it in my pocket. So, but yeah, so these are great little cakes for just having on the bike rides. They do shrink down. As you can see, it's not as fluffy as when I first took it out, but the texture remains fluffy. So, they're very handy. It's great. If you do a lot of exercise, sometimes you get real hungry after. It's a good way to give you good nutrition, a high protein really fast, and then you have a little bit before for everything to digest, and it's real easy on the digestive system, so you can eat it while you're continuing to do things. And it also will help you gauge whether you actually need like a meal full of food, and just kind of help you have some control. Like if you do a lot of endurance things where you like go and do like a crap ton of running or bicycle riding or heavy strength training, sometimes after you work out, your hunger signals are a little overboard. So yeah, we want to make sure that we keep tabs on that. Oh wow, Cuisinart ice cream maker. You know, I know a lot of people who have those, and pretty much everyone I know who has them does really like them. So yeah, uh, I'm glad though. That's nice. And like, I know that people talk about freezing the bowl, but honestly, that's not such a big deal. It does mean you have to plan, but you can't do it on the fly. But it's still really not that bad to have to plan a little bit. So just another minute or so. But so that was my day. And like I said, so now I have another week of work and a week and 2 days before Gen Con. Oh, Barely Begun says, I remembered his name. Of course I did. And he stands by the cake preference after repeated tries. I'm not surprised by that. It's some melted Lily's chips mixed in with cream and a little raspberry keto chow. Ooh, that sounds good. I might have to try that sometime. Oh, Carrie, you know what? I think that you're you say you can't fly so high anymore, but I think if you've been a hardcore caffeine person, eventually that stops happening, and so it becomes about something. It just so I think now that you do that, once you start, you know, with your electrolyte boosting and the high fatty meats, I think that you're probably okay. Plus, it's been a really long time, so I think you're probably fine. So, let's see. All right, I'm going to pull the plug on this so that it can cool down. Let's see. Just put it on my counter because I forgot the cooling rack. Normally, I would want to put it on a cooling rack. I'll just lean it here so it can cool down. Now I can put that in a baggie and store it in the fridge, and then over the next couple days I'll toast up a couple pieces here and there for sides with my meals, or I'll chow down on it. Yeah, so like I said, so Tuesday I'm not going to film because everything's crazy, and I'm going off site to lunch with my boss, his tab. I don't know where we're going. He said someplace near where you live. So I'm going to send him tomorrow the options, and I'm going to let him know we can go to the Rusty Bucket, and if we go there, I will be getting a salad called the double nickel salad and adding salmon on top of it. The double nickel, I don't even know why they call it that, but it's your greens, it's got chopped bacon bits, and I don't know what kind of dressing, but I usually swap the dressing out and get ranch instead. So I don't know if it's the bacon that makes it double nickel or what, but it's not like a super exciting salad, but it does taste really good. So I'll probably have that, and like I said, and then I'm just going to add the salmon on top of it. I will mention to him that if he is in the mood for pizza, they do have a Massey's Pizza right next door, and I just have to show some kind of restraint and not devour an entire pizza. I'm just gonna have to do it. Now, of course, the conundrum with that is that I'm gonna be on my bike and I can't bring half a pizza home on my Amanda because it doesn't have a rack. That might be interesting. So I'm hoping that he picks the place where I have the salad. The other thing we could do is I'll suggest downtown a place called the Worthington Tavern, and if we go there, I'm gonna have the bunless burger with a side salad. And that also sounds really good to me. They also have a lot of other things too. So, but I'm liking salad and salmon, so I think that's probably sounds good. Carrie says the salad sounds kind of fishy. I bet. So, what else we got going on? Oh, and Renee says, oh, diet plate stuff. Crazy names back then, but she loves a good refreshing plate this time of year. I agree. I love it, and I'm loving my broccoli and my fish and my little pepper strips. They just have been hitting the spot, and I was super glad that I found those gherkin cucumbers at the farmer's market. I had one of those today too. I just honestly, I put myself a little salt in a dish. I chomped off a bite and I would stick it in the salt and eat that. It was perfect. It was a great snack. So, but yeah. So the next thing, like I said, the next thing I've got going on is Gen Con. I know that, I'm going to share this with you guys. So, you buy tickets to events ahead of time. And I think I told you guys that I signed up to do workouts in the morning. So, I love them. They're hilarious because it's just your regular workouts. It's a nice, they're usually a cross in between standard calisthenics and CrossFit. So, sometimes, and if you sign up for the right ones, you get some really good stuff in there. But he does a really great job of theming it, and they do Star Wars theme. So I'm doing one on Thursday morning called Sith Core, and it's a slightly more advanced workout. It costs $1 more. So, like, I don't know what I was thinking. Thursday morning at 8 o'clock on my vacation, I'm going to go and do an intense workout. And so, then at 11 o'clock on the same day, I signed up to learn how to do a K-pop dance. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the oldest person in that class and the most uncoordinated. So I think that will be a good time. The other thing that I signed up for, I found a board game that was running. It's called Sacramento. You are building bike routes. I am intrigued, and I have to tell you, it was a fight for the ticket. There is a wait list on there. I can't believe I got it. I got a ticket, and I'm excited. There is a wait list of like 10 people, hoping some of us drop out to play. I can't imagine what's so exciting about building a bike route board game, but it's hot. All of the versions of it, all of the runs of it are completely sold out. So I'm like, okay. In my head, I have it that it's going to be similar to something like a Ticket to Ride or London Underground, which are what I call route building games. And since we're building bicycle routes, it makes sense that that's what it would be. And I jokingly said, I hope that there's no Sheros in the game. And the reason I say that, for those of you who don't know what Sheros are where they make one of the lanes where they paint the little arrows, like you're supposed to share the road with the bicycles, but cars do not share very well. They get very mad if you are in the lane. They drive too close to you. They honk the horns. If you live here in Ohio, sometimes they'll roll coal on you with their diesels to teach you a lesson. So, I'm not a big fan of Sheros. So, yeah. Oh, I don't know if they're going to allow video in the class. A lot of times they don't allow that because of how many things there are for consent. One of the things I'd like to do where we are allowed to film is in the main hallways. In the main hallways, it's fair game because it's considered public. When you are inside an event in a panel room, then it becomes questionable. So we'll see. I don't know if they'll let us do, 50-50 as to whether they'll let that happen. So, and Barely Begun says, I was made for that game. Get ready to dominate. I hope so. I'm so excited. And I know a lot of people who are going, so it'll have that fun Gen Con reunion. Wednesday night, I'm going to the Fogo de Chao meetup. So we were laughing. I said, I hope that they're ready for me because I know they're ready for the other 54 geeks going. But I believe I'm the only one who eats mass quantities of mostly meat and won't be touching all of the sides and the salad bar. Not that I won't hit the salad bar, but just like I did when we were at Ketopalooza that year that I went to the Branzino's, I can't remember what it was called. Theirs. I ate my meat, a lot of meat, and then at the very end, I went to the salad bar and I got myself a little bit of olives, a little bit of mozzarella cheese balls, and a teensy smattering of lettuce, and that was my dessert. And that's probably very likely what I would do for this as well. I am waiting for my picana. I am waiting for the flank steak, and I'm just going to tell them, bring those by a lot. So, yes. Oh, Carrie says eating meat would be cool. Add a meat up. Yep. And did I tell you guys about how awesome the Fogo de Chao is in Indianapolis? I don't know if I did or not. See, I keep asking because I don't want to repeat the same thing over and over, but I do want to make sure that I give them a lot of credit. So this trip to Fogo de Chao happens every year at Gen Con. But last year, oh hey Marion, welcome. Oh, and Marion says watching me eat cucumber this week made her really want one. So she picked one up on the way home. I'm glad for you. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, so I was telling you. So the Fogo de Chao in Indianapolis. So Gen Con started back up last year, was the first one back, and the person who used to organize the event. So first of all, they used to take a pre-ticket. Like you would pay your whole $70 ahead of time to the restaurant. That was a big deal. And he used to organize it all and to handle it and coordinate with the restaurant, the whole 9 yards. But last year he passed away, and all of the money was tied up in his estate. And we had to talk with Fogo de Chao, and Fogo de Chao was like, listen, don't worry about it. It'll work out. All you nerds come here and eat. And in the end, the Fogo de Chao covered the whole thing. So I don't know. I 50 to 60 people in a Brazilian steakhouse. I'm telling you, that's like at least $1,500. And they just were like, hey, he's been good to us. You guys are good to us. We're going to just take care of it. And so they have my loyalty. I will always be happy to give Fogo de Chao my business, especially in Indy, but because the Indy shop was so good, in other places where they are in business as well. So I just thought that was well above and beyond what the management had to do. I will tell you that pretty much all of us would have been fine with waiting for the estate to refund our monies and just simply paying the restaurant again. But they did not ask us to do that. They just took care of it. So, that's just like some major props needed for them. So. Oh, and Brenda says that their town uses the Sharrows. They're very much not helpful. Yep. So, I'm going to take another bite here. But yeah, I definitely appreciate it a lot. And for a restaurant of that sort, it was definitely generous because we can chow. So, alright guys, it's a little bit early, but I'm going to sit down and eat my cake and finish my beverage and get myself situated for the morning. I've got meetings starting at 7 a.m. Oh, no I don't. No, I have meetings starting at 8, but we got to take the car in. And they open at 7, so we got to get out of here. Oh, Lord, I almost forgot. I was thinking just Tuesday. Tuesday I have 7 a.m. meetings. I gotta get my shit together. So, you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go get myself together, get my head on straight. But thanks for spending the evening with me. I really appreciate it. Oh, and Renee says she has some little thick cut petite sirloin cuts marinating in her own Asian type marinade since last night. That sounds amazing. So on that note, I'm out of here. You have a great night. Good night, everyone. I hope that you have a fantastic lead into your week.